Hey guys, it's Carlo again at Audio Device Live, and we are here in another Fidelity Imports room, and look who we have. It is Steve Jain, founder and one of the chief honchos of Fidelity Imports. Steve, thanks so much for being here and walking us through what you guys have in this fabulous room, sir.
Thank you, Carlo. Yeah, we are crazy excited to be here at Audio Device Live. Audio Device is a somewhat newer retail partner for us, and we are very excited about it. It's an amazing retailer. This event is awesome. This is our first time, but we will be back. We are excited. The turnout was awesome. This is exactly the kind of thing you want to see in the industry, the opportunity for people to come here and experience these brands, listen to the products, and really get a chance to have all their questions answered directly from the manufacturers. It's an awesome event, and if you have a chance and you can get here next year, I highly recommend coming out to the event.
And I would, this being Secret's first time covering the show too, I just want to say I echo Steve's comments. It's a heck of a show, and it's really worth coming out to North Carolina and checking out. So these speakers that are in here, I guess first of all, I mean, when I've been here for one of the demos, it's like, there's bass coming from these panels. It's astonishing.
Yeah, you know, these are truly special speakers. 2 years ago, I was walking around the Munich high-end show and stumbled upon this room with these very interesting looking speakers, and I was blown away by the sound. I promptly begged them to allow us to become the distributor, and crazily enough, they said yes, and we've had the brand for nearly 2 years. It has been awesome. It's a French brand. They're made in the south of France. Very small company called Diptyque, and this is the model DP107.
Okay.
It's actually the second one from the entry point.
Okay.
And they're $8,000 a pair. And for me, I feel very much like it's one of my favorite speakers in the Diptyque lineup. You get so much of what exotic audio can be, but at more of an affordable price point. And there's
pretty. They're
Thank
really
you.
pretty. I mean, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I mean, I was just, I've heard what being in the demo, I've heard what flat panels sound like, Maggie's, for example, and other things sound like, and they have all that, and then, but just some of the bass that comes out of them was like, I remember seeing the membrane moving, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's like some kind of magic going on here.
Yeah, and you know, we generally don't like to compare other brands, but we will give some homage to the Magnepan team. The Diptyque founders have said very much that they've taken what they learned from Magnepan and tried to do their own thing with different materials and a different technology. And one of the things that, as you pointed out, jumps out right away is the fact that they make real bass, real in-the-room bass. So many people have come through here over the past 2 days asking where we hid the subwoofer. And it's just been amazing. You know, the other thing that's really great about them is we spent about 5 minutes on speaker placement.
Yeah, you were mentioning that. Yeah.
And you know, they just sound great. There's many cases where you buy a speaker and it takes a lot of work to get it into the sweet spot in your room. Not everybody even understands how to do all of that. This is a pair of speakers where you bring them home, you set them up, get them off the back wall. That's really the only thing you need to be cautious of.
Right.
And you're gonna get a great sound everywhere in the room. They just have a way of disappearing in the room. There's a holographic type sound coming at you. And yeah, it's really special. The other thing that's interesting, if you pan to them, is that the speaker itself has something unique to most panels in that it has a vertical rake adjust.
Yeah, so you can angle them a little bit then.
Yeah, and so depending on where you're sitting, you really have an opportunity, whether you're sitting kind of low or high, to really kind of maximize the sweet spot on the speaker. Nice. And it's kind of interesting. I haven't seen it on other panel speakers
yet.
Yeah,
that's the first I've seen that sort of ability on a panel speaker, I guess, because usually they're usually they're on just like fixed stands or feet or something. Wow.
That's it. It's a very unique setup. And of course, you know, the sound we're achieving in this room would not be possible without all the partner brands that we have here as well.
Of course.
So we start with a Neo high-end rack all the way from Slovakia.
That is pretty.
Absolutely awesome modular rack, tons of isolation. And at that point, we go to the Michell Technodec. So, you know, J.A. Michell has been around, the company was founded by J.A. Michell, and Michell's been around since 1968, handmade in England, 3 generations of the Michell family, and still operating as a family business. We're super proud to represent this brand in America. And that turntable as it sits, table and Tonearm is a quite affordable $2,700 retail.
Wow, that's very good.
It's a great value, again, handmade in England.
That's a lovely looking Tonearm too. I mean, visually it's a beautiful piece of engineering.
Yeah, the entire package does make a statement in terms of an aesthetic standpoint. Wow. And then from there we go to, and really kind of the beating heart of this system is the Audia Flight FL3S. This is a handmade in Italy 100 watt per channel integrated amplifier that retails at $4,000. And in many ways that sentence is not something you can repeat for many other brands. You know, you get the craftsmanship that comes from you know, a cutting edge engineering firm, but you also get that Italian pride, the Italian style, a little bit of flair with the bird on the display. And you know, it's an awesome sounding unit, and many people would probably tell you that when you get a panel speaker, you need big bass, big amplifier. But this is a relatively small package. It's 100 watts per channel, and it's, I think you would agree, powering these speakers wonderfully.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I remember having been at Audia Flight at the factory visit and just seeing what goes into these things. I mean, you know, with an open chassis, it just like they are built like nothing else I've seen. They're quite impressive.
The interior design of that product, the chassis layout, the transformers, they're all cutting edge and beautifully laid out. And then for both streaming and phono capabilities, we're running Goldnote. Goldnote is also another Italian brand in our portfolio, handmade in Tuscany, amazing brand. We're running the DS10 streamer DAC, and we're using the DAC in it, and we're running the brand new PH5 phono preamp from Goldnote. This is a $999 retail phono preamp with multiple curves, MMC, gorgeous display, $999 retail.
That display is like, that's very cool. So you're using, if I'm reading that right, you're using the Columbia curve on this.
Yeah, and you can change it. So it's got your standard RIA curve, but you also have a bunch of other specific to record label or record cutting curves. And you'll find it makes quite a bit of difference. As you're playing a record, as you're listening to it, if you put it on the proper curve, it does make a difference. And it's a really cool feature, especially to have at such an affordable price point.
Yeah, I'll say.
So this room really was about trying to put together a package, something that sounded awesome, challenges what high-end really is, but at a completely affordable price. You know, this entire room is under $20,000, from rack to speakers, electronics, turntable, everything all in. And as you walk around, most trade shows, you start to see cables that cost $20,000. So to be able to pull off this level of sound in this room is something that we're super happy about. And I want to make one last shout out, because I almost forgot, our Northern Ireland partner in the back corner, which is Titan Audio. So
okay, of course.
We're using Titan for their power distribution block and all of their power management cables.
Shout out to Titan, look at that.
Handmade, Belfast, Northern Ireland.
Very nice. Wow. Very cool. Excellent. It's nice to see a room that will not break the bank and actually give you your money's worth in terms of hi-fi and sound. That's awesome.
For us, that's the most exciting part of this hobby. Everybody can make great sound, throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars, but when you can make sound that impresses people, that you come away making true music at an affordable price point, that's, at least for me, that's the funnest part of this hobby. And getting to talk to Carlo.
Oh, well, you shucks. Hey, Steve, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us and walk us through the rooms.
Thank you so much, Carlo.
Hey, anytime. And have a great rest of the show.
You too.
There we go. If you find it, they'll give you money. That's good. That's just the Planar, yep.
So the sound of the birds taking off scared you last night.
Unbelievable.
But they were right to leave, right decide to use their wings to fly.
There really aren't very many planars that can.
So the sound of the birds taking off scared you last night.